It's Debatable. I'm Justin.
Jalen.
And if you're watching, please hit the subscribe button. Just make sure to like the video, comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, f- Facebook, some TikTok. There's just so many apps now. Just follow us on everything. Just type in It's Debatable. You will find us. But for this episode, um, you know, there's just been rumblings of like certain people coming back to battle rap. Y'all know the really like the two top names I feel like people want to see back is Conceited and Briz. And we talked about it behind the scene and we decided to do a little episode of just, a couple people we would like to see back on the URL platform. So, you know, just starting off with just one of the names I said, I feel due to the Romnitty and Fonz battle, Conceited just being in the middle observing that and then going on hip hop is real after saying that if he was to come back he would battle Romnitty. I think it definitely got the battle rap fans just excited to hear his name back. So let me ask you, because we've been watching battle rap for like over a decade now. So when you hear the name Conceited, just what does that just even mean to you in battle rap?
Just punchlines off rip, and then to slow it down, I just dissed you. Kind of, it was the first battle rap I really watched. When I like going into battle rap, he's kind of like the one that helped me discover battle rap and all that. So, yeah, he's kind of like a founder for me, forefronter for me. Um, yeah, just a legend in my book. Now, him coming back, I don't know how it's going to translate because he hasn't been here in so long. And then, his format of Slow It Down, I just did you. From the last time I seen him was against like Chilla Jones. That was like the most like recent, like from far away. And it was just too repetitive. And I don't know if that could translate on a stage or anything. But it is conceded, he's used to performing on big stages, wilding out specifically. He just knows how to perform, entertain the crowd, those elements as well. So, I don't know. How do you feel about like him on the comeback?
I feel it's just, sort of what you're just alluding to is kind of like how he's just gonna be receptive. I'm looking at someone like my verse coming back to the URL stage. Also been on while and out just doing all these ventures outside of battle rap, but her name is still, potent in the culture like a Conceited. But if y'all watched her verse First Lady Flames, I feel the materials there. I just feel it's just how is it just going to be receptive? Like we're just as fans used to seeing what we have been seeing. So just in that battle, talking about Flames and my verse, we're used to Flames, so we're just used to hearing like just her voice that style. Seeing my verse is like it's kind of fresh, so it's like you kind of have to be like reintroduced again. So I feel like that's kind of how it would play out with Conceited, just because it has been so long. Like you just said, his last battle I feel on YouTube is the Chilla Jones battle. So and now like just like moving forward, I feel it depends on like the matchup. So there's just been names floating around. But like even like shout out to Goods, he said if Conceited was to come back, he would want to see him against someone like Cassidy. Like that's more
Hmm.
of a warm up battle
Yeah.
instead of us, just coming back and facing Rum, where I feel that's gonna be a very uphill battle because we're so familiar with Rum and his style. I just don't know if that's just the one you wanna immediately come back. So like just thinking of names, like what kind of matchups would you want to see for that first one back?
No, definitely. I feel Cassidy is definitely a matchup that's gonna like right now that makes the most perfect sense on both ends. I feel Cassidy's been taking like these little steps at like getting like these battle rappers. The last one being Hitman Holla, and then he didn't really like do too bad. It was kind of more impressive than his last outing. So he's definitely getting his foot wet into battle rap, and then Conceited coming back. I feel like that's a matchup that makes sense because Cassidy is kind of like an amateur at this, and it's not like not saying that Conceited is
Don't
amateur, but
ask Cassidy that, because if you were to say that to Cassidy, he's gonna say you're an amateur. So he just
he's
oh,
kind of
yeah.
an amateur, like still an amateur at
It's
the
the
battle
science.
rapping, still getting his foot wet. But I feel like that's a nice warm up because you feel me. I feel he would still be in favor. I feel like anyone else, it will be looked upon like a little bit differently. Like if he goes against a Rum Nitty, I feel Rum Nitty would be the favorite. I feel like for like that's kind of really the only battle for him that would kind of be in his favor. That makes sense.
Right, right, right. We talked about Cassidy, Rum. Those are just Cassidy just coming from back in the day of one of the original punchers, and then Rum, being seen as now as top puncher. I would definitely like to see both of those matches. But then I also think of someone like Tay Rock, who in that Briz Rothstein battle, he had the famous slogan with the, conceded how you 4 foot 5 and still ducking. I think that's definitely a mega matchup that I feel if it was announced, the fans would just go crazy. But even just Tay Rock's aggression and just the when Conceda was that guy, I don't feel Tay Rock was even as good as he is now. We know like the type of pockets and the cadence and flow that Rock has kind of mastered now. I think that would even be a tough matchup for Conceda. But what do you think of like Conceda versus Tay Rock?
Nah, definitely. I would like definitely like that matchup. I feel like I really don't know how it would go. I really want to see conceded first before I get say a Tay Rock battle because I definitely want to see him before. Um, I'm not against it, but like I said, I just need to see conceded before that even happens.
All right, all right. Just shout out to Conceded. That's someone we definitely want to see come back to the culture. Him just being a legend in it. But what's a name that you feel that you want to see come back to the Euro stage?
Oh, definitely. Been asking for this name for a long time. B Dot. B Dot's been gone for a good minute. The last time I seen him battle was in that band against Kid Chaos. That was last year, the beginning of the year. After that, kind of went ghost. I know he did say like he did have like a recent passing with his grandfather or whatever. All my condolences to him. But and also he also said he was like focusing on his brand, getting away from all this. Is like it's not for him or whatever. But for me personally, I definitely miss watching B Dot, especially the lyrical content, the flow patterns, the angling, the charisma he performs with. Like I definitely miss that aspect in battle rap. I feel like there's still a couple matchups out there for him, but I feel like a lot of some of these people, kind of like the newer people, are getting their stock up more. So I feel like the names that he would have had, like in I still feel like he could still get a chess battle. I feel like him versus chess would be a good battle at this point in time. But as far as anyone else, he already faced from the I feel like there's still like as far as like any other battles I want to see him against. Yeah, but I feel like right now, I would definitely want to see him come back against like a B Dot versus Chess or B Dot versus Chef Trez or something like that. Like someone that can kind of do what he does, but in a different fashion. I definitely feel like that would be a good match for him. So, yeah, that's definitely one person I want to see.
Shout out to B Dot. He was supposed to be booked versus Surf, and then we haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
He's definitely a formidable opponent. I definitely like his style. He's definitely someone you really have to just sit down and listen to. His material, I feel, is something you're not gonna catch all of it in that moment. Like there just be times, I just sent you clips and I'm like, nah. Like I watched the clip, like we watched it like 7 times, and like his material is just really layered. So he's definitely a great opponent. But like you said, he's focused on his brand and just his personal life. So I think eventually he will come back. He really hasn't been gone for too long. That wasn't even a
Mm.
name I was really thinking of, but I think B Dot coming back would definitely be great. In terms of an opponent though coming back, I'm not too sure. I would want to see someone that he could definitely have that conversation with. So
Hmm.
even like a B Dot versus like an Iron Solomon, I think that would definitely be a great matchup for him. Even like a B Dot versus a Calico, I think that would be a crazy battle. So shout out to B Dot. I hope to see him back soon. Another person I want to see back on the Euro stage. I want to say the name Prez Mafia,
That's a throwback.
yeah.
That's a
Nah, like
throwback.
when I first got into battle rap, that was just a person that his style was like so fresh. And like like we see now like the Briz and the twerks people that have that unorthodox style and just how they put those bars together. But Prez Mafia was one of those original people like the Wusa and like like oh that was just crazy. Like Twerk will tell you that that's one of the people that he watched and was inspired.
Mhm.
Like his style. So Prez Mafia is just one of those names. The last time I could be wrong, but I think the last time I seen him was versus Cortez, on that low rank card. No disrespect to anybody that was on it, but he lost the core. We all remember the when Prez Mafia stock was growing and he ran DNA,
Mhm.
and that was just that roadblock. The main problem what happened with Prez was just preparation and choking and things of that nature, which kind of just made his career plummet. He still battles like on Gates of the Garden and some of these lower leagues, but I'm talking about I want to see Prez Mafia back in his bag and I'm back on that Euro stage because there's plenty of matchups that he definitely can have. So what do you think about Prez Mafia?
Yeah, that's definitely a throwback. Definitely one that had passed my mind. Definitely, I remember back in the day, like when We Go Hard and the early URL PGs, Press Mafia was definitely a name out there that was hot and popping. So definitely, I'm not against seeing Press Mafia. I won't. Yeah, I would definitely see him again, like one probably against like one of these newer guys, like as a test or something, because Press Mafia does have a unique style as well. So it's no, that's definitely one I haven't seen in so long. So definitely, that's a big
I'm
shout out.
think I'm thinking of like two matchups already against like you said some new talent. I like to see him like verse either Prep versus Flair Soul. Like I definitely think that would be fire. Or even on Prep versus Foots. Like I
Mm.
think those are just two matchups right there that would definitely shake the building. So shout out to Press Mafia. Hopefully we could see him back, but that's definitely up in the air. I have no idea. Who's another person that you had on your list?
So another person I have on my list specifically, I have Mr. Daylight. Now, Daylight is a troll, and I feel like there's been so many battles he's been passed up upon. I feel right after that, Tay Rock, no, yeah, that Tay Rock battle, I feel K Shine was supposed to come after that. Then he said like when K Shine went against I'm not gonna battle him because he lost, yada yada yada. It doesn't make sense. And then he goes, and then I know Chess was in the air for a minute, and then he was like on an interview on Hip Hop Is Real. Oh, my brand doesn't make sense for me to battle Chess. They want me to battle someone bigger of that nature. It sounds like he's ducking at me a lot of these battles, and he does not want to battle. I know he's battling Reese very soon against that like that boxer or whatever, and I really take him for a joke. Like I don't understand why he would duck a K Sean and
Hold on,
Chess
hold on. Wait,
just to
wait. I
battle
also
him.
I also don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I told you they wasn't battling in December. I told you like it's just listen.
It's
What did I
crazy.
say to you? I said I cannot talk about a daylight battle until I see him on the stage mic'd up and someone flips the coin. It's just because I
Def-
can't take anything he says with them a grain of salt. Like
mhm.
it's just and then he had the nerve to troll even more and post that picture. And then it's like you really look, you can tell it's an old picture. Like yo, I can't deal with daylight, man.
Yeah, and like I said, even with that trolling against the Autobox battle, which is like kind of just long awaited at like at this point, there's no more hype for it. Like it was hype for it like at that period in time. At this point, it's just like when is it gonna happen at this point? So I definitely need to want to see Daylight. The last time we seen him against Rock was definitely impressive. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of getting over it. At this point, it's not satisfying me anymore. I need to see something new. Definitely. Um, if he's talking, I'm not gonna really feed into it too much until I see it, until I believe it. Like I said, he's battling this little boxer guy. So I don't know his name, but I
I
seen
think
clips.
it's like King. I don't mean if I'm saying it wrong, but it's like King Boo. Is it? I
Yeah,
don't
like
know how you pronounce the last part. I don't know.
I don't take it seriously. I seen a clip of him rapping. It looks like
Fire card though. If it's a fire card though, but I'm
who
just
else is on
saying.
the card?
Twerk versus T Top. Jazz versus RX, Enes versus Clean Paper, um, Ace Amin versus and Ace Amin versus Craig Lamar. Those are some fire matchups. Like
Shout out to that card.
we might have to do a separate blog on all of that. I just it is a fire card though. But shout
Yeah,
out to that boxer guy,
but yeah,
MMA, whatever reason.
yeah, but Daylight needs to stop trolling and really get back in that ring seriously. Because especially, I feel like personally for me, I definitely need one of those battles that's like mind blowing to me. But
But I think I see it on live. Daylight said he gonna take Gwitty on We Go Hard. You don't want to see Daylight versus Gwitty on We Go Hard.
I would definitely watch it.
It's
But I feel like he's
Snatchy.
capping.
It's Snatchy. Gonna get him up out of here. Like I'm telling you, like, shout out Daylight. Another person I was thinking of just from the URL era. I guess you could say. Um, Young Ill. That's definitely someone I would like to see back on the URL stage. I believe his last battle was John and Dom, but it just never dropped on whatever league that was. But then
Hmm.
I seen the owner of that league tweeted it's gonna come out this year, so I want to see how he did in that. His last battle on the URL was Briz, another person that we want to see come back. And he did okay. He lost, but
Hmm.
he definitely did okay. He was on spaces with Verb and Easy, and him and Easy was going back and forth, to talking about battling. So, but he's just another person like we talked about Press Mafia that just has a unique style that sounded different from a lot of people. Um, so many classics back in the day, just Young L and DNA, Young L and Surfing, just all those matchups. He definitely just brings a different type of flavor to battle rap. So, what do you think of Young Ill returning?
Oh, definitely. I'm open to seeing Young Ill returning. A matchup. I'm not too particular. We fixed on a matchup for him. I don't know what matchup would be good. I definitely remember some of his battles, specifically the ones against Calico and Sue Surf. Those are kind of the highlights for me for Young Ill. Definitely memorable battles that I still remember to this day. Like Smack, who is this nigga? My one of my favorite slogans. So definitely shout out to Young Ill. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm definitely open to seeing him on the URL stage as well, though.
Okay. Do you have another person?
Yeah. So, I know recently, with all these people in these like 2 year contracts, you got Clean Paper, Jeff Trez, and like Bank Myron. I kind of want to see Dre Dennis get like a little 2 year, little 1 year stint with this URL. Dre Dennis is not afraid to battle. I believe that last year on the Champion of the Year, he had like 20 to 30 battles, and he was battling like three to twice every month. You feel me? Definitely dedicated to the track. Definitely dedicated to his craft. Has his own league at Gates the Garden. Me particular, I said Dre Dennis particular because I definitely want to see what a Dre Dennis versus a T Top battle sound like. I feel like that's a good battle that I would want to watch specifically for Dre Dennis. Um, yeah, especially all these people got Clean Paper getting like a deal, like a 2 year deal. Chef Trez, you feel me? I would want to see, a year of just Dre Dennis against URL opponents and see how he fares out. Um, Definitely. So yeah,
Nah.
definitely.
Shout out to Dre Dennis. I just seen a clip from one of his battles versus Old Red, and he was just going crazy in that. So shout out to Dre Dennis. He's definitely one of those battle rappers that I guess never got his just due, and he's battled almost everyone. I believe he has like the most battles ever.
Hmm.
Shout out to Gates of the Garden. I guess I'll call him a puncher. Um, I don't really know why he never kind of elevated. I don't know, is it promo or is it just maybe just not the right look at the right time? I'm not too sure. I feel like he battles on URL every year, but like on like a Survivor series or like
Hmm.
a band or like some card in Bubblefuck of Virginia or like something like that. Like so, I feel like he's on URL every year, but he just never gains any traction. And he doesn't really clearly lose battles.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm not mad at the Dre Dennis versus a T Top. the Dre Dennis face Av. I don't know if I'm Dre Dennis face Av, but I like to see that. I want to see him versus some of these top punchers.
Mm,
So shout out to Dre Dennis. I guess I can speak on someone that was. I don't know if they're still in the same group. It was a mess situation that happened, but I would like to see Prep, just back on the Euro stage now. If Prep comes back, I don't know which Prep it's gonna be, because there's like seven preps, and
mm,
I'm not too sure, but I think because of that whole situation, his stock in your road just kind of plummeted, because it was like, what's wrong with this guy? Like,
mm,
but material, he's fire. Like one of my favorite battles ever is Prep versus the Saga. Fire
mm,
battle. That is a URL classic right there. If you haven't seen that, that is on YouTube from like 7-8 years ago.
mm,
Um, Definitely, he was in the tournament, that URL tournament that they do every year. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that, but he was definitely in one of those before he lost to Casey. But I think Prep is just a formidable opponent. On the way he can put bars together is very unique. Um, what do you think about Prep?
um, I have to see more prep. I remember like the last time I seen him was against KCJ, and he had that. I feel like at that time too, he was so fixated on this one bar because he literally said just one bar and then choked the rest, like that rest of the first round, and like. It seemed like he was ready for it, like the promo leading up to it, the flower and all that. I'm like, okay, he's about to say something, you feel me? But then he kind of just choked out. So that was like my last showing of prep. I also did see a clip of him like battle in like this like venue or whatever, and then like something happened like with like the other battler like in his face or something. Like I'm like, yeah, like he was just too much in drama, like, too much drama or whatever. But yeah, I haven't really seen prep rap way too much. I haven't really seen like a recent prep battle. So if I do
Go
see,
on the go on the app and watch Prep versus Drugs. That
okay, I'll check that out.
fire, fire. Like I'm telling you, like fire.
Hmm.
Like, so anyone who didn't see that would definitely watch that. That was definitely from the DMV. That was a fire battle, and I feel sometimes there's fire battles that just get swept under the rug. It doesn't do anything for people, but then we'll praise someone for choking 3 rounds. But that's another story for another day. Do you have another person?
Oh yeah, I believe this is the last person on my yeah the last person on my list. I have Mr. Loaded Lux, of course. You feel me? That's my goat.
Here we go, man. You just seen him like last year, bro.
Yeah, that's my goal. I definitely want to see him outside again. This daylight battle, like I said, is way past me. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. But going into 2023, I definitely want to see the Loader Lux versus DNA battle, especially after I seen DNA versus Calico and the way DNA was rapping against Calico. If he's rapping like that, I definitely want to see him against Loader Lux because I'm not gonna lie, going into that battle, I don't know if I'm gonna be favoring Lux because DNA is definitely on one against Calico, and he's
Uh,
definitely
yeah, 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 yeah.
so. So that's definitely the matchup I want to see for Loaded Lux. Definitely Loaded Lux versus DNA. The matchup is there. The storyline is set. F Daylight, he's trolling too much. Let's get this locked in. You feel me for 2023? We definitely need one of those. Um, yeah, that's definitely a person I definitely want to see. You feel me? Lord of Luck fan. The last outing wasn't too fond. You feel me? Wasn't too great. So definitely want to see him make that up and recover.
Yeah, bro. You can say, but you can say it wasn't too fun, or you could just say he lost because he lost his last battle. So, okay, people lose battles.
I
We
mean,
seen him versus Geechee Gotti, and the third round he said that he was tired, and then after that I seen him on some boat, and then I haven't seen him since. Like, I don't know what happened to Lord of Lux. Just speaking on that daylight battle, I don't want to see the battle. I never really did. Um, and I feel the hype that they tried to hype it up now. If it does happen, the expectations are going to be so high that it's just
hmm
not going to be reached. So what they should have did was this. I think it was the last year was like the last year to do it. They should have just did
hmm
on URL and just do the damn battle. but they dragged it out and they want to. It's just way too much. I don't want to see that. But like you said, Little Lux versus DNA. That's definitely one I would like to see, and I don't have DNA winning that battle. Little Lux has not showed me anything as of recent to say that he will beat DNA when DNA has been cooking. So I just can't like. Sorry. So shout out to Loaded Lux. And just to end it, the last name that I'll say is someone I brought up a little earlier is Iron Solomon. He's definitely one of the legends in on the culture. You might just know him for that Murder Mook battle when he got what was it like 5-0 or whatever. Um,
Mm.
but one of his more classic battles on the URL is him versus Rum Nitty. Um, Definitely fire in that matchup. He's definitely one of the best wordsmiths in this. There's definitely a lot of battles out there for him. I believe his actual last battle was T Top on that London card when Tay Rock
Mm.
battled Pat Stay. Um, and after that, he took a little break. But we seen people like Danny calling him out, DNA, K Shine. So there's definitely a lot of matchups out there for him. But he's just at the point of his career, like a lot of these bets, it just has to make sense. It just
Mm.
can't be him versus Anderson Burris. Like it just can't. Like it
Mm.
just don't. It has to make sense. But what do you think of Iron Solomon returning?
Oh yeah, definitely like Iron Solomon. Majority of the battles I seen from him were on I think King of the Dot. Shouts out to King of the Dot. Yeah. I seen the run like I feel like the last time I really like got into Iron Solomon. I feel like when we did a bar breakdown for Rum Nitty and Iron Solomon. That was like the last time I really got into it. But besides that, he passed my mind.
No,
We
we
did.
didn't. No, we never did one from Nitty and Iron Solomon.
I definitely remember doing well. I
No,
guess maybe
we
one,
talked
maybe
about we talked
maybe
about
one
doing it,
day,
but
one
we never
yeah,
did it.
yeah. But yeah, I was yeah, that was one of the battles I just replayed back and watched and kind of dissected that one. Um, Also, too, we did see him at that URL homecoming afterwards. Him and Bronsbrook, aren't they were like talking or whatever. So that's definitely shout out to him. We definitely seen him outside. Yeah, and I'm not opposed to seeing him on a URL card. It's been a long time. He's definitely a wordsmith. Definitely knows all attributes of battle rap very well. Could freestyle. You feel me at a good level. You feel me? Could basically do it all. So I'm definitely want to see him on a URL platform.
All right. We'll just end it right there. There's definitely a lot of more names. You know, we didn't really get into Briz, but we all know the situation on that. We definitely want to see him back. We want to see him versus Mook, but will that ever happen? I don't know. Another honorable mention. I want to say T Rex. He's definitely seemed to be back in that battle rap headspace. He said that he's healthy again. He got his breathing right. He already got two matchups lined up with Chess and Bad News. Those would definitely be fire matchups. But just shout out to Battle Rap. We just had the URL outside card go on. I seen the Smack interview. He said it definitely was a success. He said one of the shout outs was Swervo. So shout out to
Mm.
Swervo. We have the redemption card coming up in Atlanta on February 18th. There was Swamp versus Clean Paper announced. I seen Danny Myers versus Charlie Clips. Um, and then Smack announced Chef Trez and John, but then John said that's not true. And
Mm-hmm.
then Smack came on hip hop talking about I dropped the ball on that. I shot my gun too early. Like you, you already know how Smack talks, but just be on the lookout for what's going on with in battle rap. Be on the lookout for what's going on here on the channel. We'll definitely give y'all updates and things like that. Like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. If you stay throughout this whole video, once again, please subscribe to the channel, tell a friend to tell a friend, and good night.